children, it's me Ghost Girl, and today I'm here with you guys to talk about practicing witchcraft in secret. So as you guys may know, I live in a very Christian family, so I can't really practice my craft openly. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can practice your craft in secret if you're maybe living in an environment where it's not safe to do so, because this is what I have to do. Also, I am doing a little experiment at the moment. Since I'm off uni now and I can't see myself getting a job anytime soon because employers are awful human beings. I was going to use an A word to describe them, which I cannot say on YouTube, but I'm sure most of you guys will relate. But anyway, I'm doing this experiment and I'm posting videos twice a week now, and it's just to see how you guys take it and what my views are, and if you guys like me posting this much, just prefer that I posted just once a week, or do you not care? So it's just a little experiment that I'm doing at the moment, and so far you guys seem to be liking me posting twice a week, so I'm gonna just keep doing it and see how it goes. So anyway, you'll see I've got all this stuff behind me, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute, what it is. When I first started doing witchcraft, I started looking at Wicca because I thought that was for me, but as I've done more research and invested further into my witchcraft journey, I found that Wicca isn't really for me. I seem to be flowing more towards Kemetism, which if you didn't know, Kemetism is based on the ancient Egyptian religion. So ancient Egypt, before it was Egypt, it was called Kemet, and I seem to be gravitating more towards that culture, although I do work with a deity from Norse paganism, but I'll get into that in another video. So I've got little charms, like the pentagram and stuff for Wicca. Don't get me wrong, I do follow some of the Wiccan values like harm none and the tenfold law and stuff, but I'm not really a Wiccan devotee as such. When I posted my video about Wicca, I was, but then I just kind of gravitated more towards Kemetism. If you guys want me to make a video on Kemetism, I will. This wee charm, I keep it hidden. I've got a jewellery box, so sometimes I hide my charms at the bottom of the jewellery box, or the bottom of your sock drawer or your underwear drawer is a good place to hide them, or even in a box under your bed, places where people tend not to look. Maybe try thinking out of the box and find a good hiding place in your room to hide all these, Or sometimes what works is sometimes the most obvious places that are too obvious for people to think about, like in your jacket pocket or in your handbag. Or I had the 18 plus stuff in my room for 4 weeks in my bottom drawer, in the bottom of that drawer, and that never got found. That I mentioned in me and Ken's anniversary video. It's just places like that which is like a good place to hide things. In the pocket of your house coat is a good place to hide things as well, because no one checks these, like house coat pockets, jacket pockets, jean pockets. No one really thinks to look in there for things. It's like one of those brilliantly obvious places where you could put something and it's like so obvious that like no one would think about it. So you need to be clever when thinking about hidey places. So this is my magic wand. This is wand 2.0. Wand 1 was sadly destroyed by Bailey the Destroyer. I used to hide this under my bed, and my mum never really thought anything of it because it was just a stick. I mean, you can decorate your wands and stuff, but I feel like that makes it a bit obvious. This literally just looks like a stick, and it technically is a stick, but it's also like a magic wand. No one really would suspect this. They'd just see like, oh, a stick, and they maybe think it was a bit odd that you have a stick lying under your bed, but like they probably wouldn't think about any. They probably wouldn't be able to put like 2 and 2 together. I've had to put this in a box under my bed because Bailey the Destroyer was trying to get to it. But before we got Bailey, I had 2 wands and they were just kind of under my bed. But yeah, the story of how I found my wands, or you can have more than one witch's wands, by the way. I wanted to find like my wand, so I used Law of Attraction to try and find my wand. Sometimes when you're ready, your wand just calls to you. It certainly called to me. If you don't know what Law of Attraction is, that is another video for another time. But basically I was able to manifest my wand, and one day I was in a forest and I was actually looking to make one of my videos, and I was looking for a spot to film, and this was before I could film inside for you guys. I was having to film outside a lot because my mum was going through like one of her cycle phases, and I was outside in the forest, and a branch suddenly snapped off the tree, and I just heard this big snapping sound, and it was almost as if this tree had like broken one of its branches to give it to me, and then this stick just flew down and like landed in front of me, and the energy that I felt coming off this stick, like even now, like this stick, the amount of energy and magical stuff that I can feel coming off this stick is unbelievable. And it was just landed on the ground like in front of my feet, and I picked it up and when I looked at it, I just felt and I just knew that this was my wand. So that is how I got this wand. The other wand, I was walking down the street one day and I found this stick just lying there in front of me in the street, and again I felt like the same feeling and the same energy, so I took my wands home with me and I did keep them under the bed until Bailey the Destroyer got to them, so now I'm just kind of keeping them like in a box under my bed. So this is my Book of Shadows. I know it doesn't look very impressive, but it is supposed to be hidden and secretive. So basically I got a normal A4 notepad and I've been using it to write down like all my spells and stuff in. So this notepad, I've just been in a box under my bed, and cause it's just a normal like A4 notepad, like no one's gonna think, oh, that's a Book of Shadows. So I've got like all my spells and stuff that I've done written in this. No, I'm not going to show you inside my Book of Shadows. I might do a video one day of me performing a spell and teaching you guys how to do a spell from my Book of Shadows. It's up to you if you guys want to then include it in your Book of Shadows, but I'm not going to show you what like the inside of my Book of Shadows. That's like private thing in the witch community. I've also got like crystals and stuff. Some of them I've got out, some of them I've got like hidden away. It really depends on the type of crystals you've had. The thing is with crystals is that people don't usually like associate crystals with witchcraft, so a thing that you can keep like in the open is crystals. I do have like crystals like in little bags, like hanging up in places and stuff. But one of the things that I've personally never had to hide is crystals. A lot of Christian people, their attitude is, oh, it's just a walk, and I've managed to convince my mum that it's just a hobby, that I like collecting things and that I'm a bit of a hoarder, little does she know. This is my pendulum. So witches usually use pendulums for divination and to help locate something that I've lost. If I ever need to find something or find someone, I just hold it and think about who or what I'm looking for, and and I'll get an image in my mind of like where it is or like where they are. I've used it for divination. So like in my Book of Shadows, I've got like a way of communicating to my spirit guides. I might show you my divination board one day because it isn't like classed as spell work, but basically it's just a circle and the it's split into 3 and it's got yes, no, maybe, and I'll ask them like yes, no, maybe questions, and the pendulum will swing, and then when it stops under yes, no, maybe, that is the answer. If my mum's in and she's being really loud, or she's like in another room, I'll just ask a question in my mind, and I will give my spirit guides permission to enter my mind, and then they'll answer the questions. But if that's not the case, then I usually just ask them out loud. Sometimes I know it can be embarrassing talking to Finny, or you feel like you're talking to Finny, or I used to get embarrassed about that. But a pendulum is basically just a crystal with like a chain or something attached. It can even be a bit of string. The good thing about this pendulum is that it's literally just like a necklace, and it's got like a crystal attached, and that's basically what a pendulum could be. And my mum literally just thinks that this is like a necklace that I like bought and that I wear. Like, I haven't told her that it's like an actual like witchy pendulum. If you're not good with the idea of being shown pictures in your mind, a pendulum can also, if you want to find someone, you say pendulum, where is my book of shadows, and then it will like swing towards the direction of where my book of shadows are, and you just follow the direction that the pendulum is taking you. It's not as discreet, mind you, but it does the purpose. Some witches have an altar. If you guys don't work with deities or stuff, then I wouldn't rush into getting an altar. Some people use altars for like spell work and stuff, but unless you work with like any deities and stuff, it's not really necessary, at least what I've found. I use altars for deity work, although it's not really an altar as such, because I can't really have an altar like where I live. So I took a photo of this box on Twitter. Also, this wand has featured in a previous YouTube video where I talk about how I found my wand. But this is an altar box, and it's basically like an art and craft box that I created, and my mum just thinks that it's like a art project, and she doesn't suspect anything. So the deities that I work with, one of them is a dog, so that's why the weird dogs are on the thing. They're like the only dog things that I could find. Then one of my deities likes stars and has a star named after them, so hence the stars. The other one is a bird and likes birds, that's why the birds are there. Inside I've got like all their names written, and then like a bird, a dog, a star, all things that like represent them. Just kind of stuck them next to their names, and I've written their names inside, and it's just so my mum can't see it when she's doing like our mag cleaning and stuff. This is just some ideas for like a deity box. So if you are working with like deities and you want to create an altar, you can do a box like this, like decorate it however you want, and your parents won't suspect anything. So I've got little charms inside the box that like represent them. One of the deities that I work with is represented by the third eye. I've probably took it quite literal by putting these wee eyes in, but I am Greek Orthodox. Like, I was baptised Greek Orthodox, and my family are on my dad's side are all Greek Orthodox, and they're Greek Cypriot, and they believe in the evil eye, which is what this is. And it is just kind of like a cultural thing, like from my dad's side. So part of my culture is went in there. So the deities will understand. I've also got like crystals and stuff that they like in this box, and little charms and stuff. But exactly what I've done, this is just like ideas for stuff that could go into your altar or deity box. You can put anything you want like in the box, as long as it represents your deities. Deities are relatively easy to work with. The only time they'll ever like not like something is if you put like something like random on your altar for them, or on your box that they might not like. There are different ways to communicate with your deities. I usually write a letter and put it in the box, and address it to the certain deity that I want to work with. Different deities you'll work with for different purposes depending on what they are the deity of. Just be careful when starting deity work. I never chose or called out to different deities. They called me and I responded to their call. If you are calling out to certain deities, or you want to work with certain deities, you need to be a bit more careful, because you're going to have to approach like this basically very powerful being, and don't get me wrong, they won't hurt you or anything, but if you want to work with them, you need to have like a valid reason for working with them. Like the same as vice versa. Like when a new deity calls upon me, I need to have a valid reason from them why they want to work with me. So chances are they'll expect the same of you. Deities are not like our entities, like they just expect your love and devotion, and in return they give you so much more, where our entities might want a lot more from you. I could do like a video on deity work if you want me to, and I'll talk about in more details the deities that I work with. But yeah, anyway, my spooky children, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like this video. I hope you have all found this very useful to all the other maybe newbie witches that are new to witchcraft, or people out there that are in the same situation as me and are struggling with the craft in that way. But anyway, comment down below, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. Also, don't forget to follow me on my socials. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Patreon, so if you could sponsor me, that would be very grateful. Also, I am a psychic medium. I do psychic readings. If you're interested in getting a tarot card reading or a channeled message reading. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is I've got tarot cards hidden in my underwear drawer where I keep my charms, and I've got oracle cards too, so if you guys want to practice cards, the underwear drawer is the best place to hide them. But anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed this video and found it very helpful. That is everything for me today, my spooky children. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and goodbye.